What's up, baby? It's Reed, baby. I can't think of his name. It's like Bossman the D or something like that. But I love his rapping voice, baby. Baby, he got to be from ATL because I feel like that's how Tiny talks. Just watching her on Ti and Tiny, the Family Hustle. What's happening, baby? And Shekinah from Love Hip Hop. Let's hop right into it. So, have you ever felt like your life wasn't aligning with your dreams and the dreams that you have for yourself as a kid or your career goals? Just like you're going through the motions and life is just on autopilot and you don't really have like a specific purpose. You're just working, going to work, doing your daily routines of going to work, eating, just kind of like in survival mode, but just life is on autopilot and you aren't feeling any type of fulfillment. Have you ever felt that way? Or maybe you feel like that right now. I know I felt that way about 3 times that I can recall. About 3 times. The first time was back in 2015. I had just moved back. Well, I graduated in 2014 from college, but I was, a year in, a year out of college, working a retail job, doing substitute teaching, and not really doing what I thought I would be doing when I graduated from college. That feeling back then led me to just up and move to California at the time, and then I ended up in Vegas. The second time was in 2018 when I had my first anxiety attack, and I realized that it was time for me to go to therapy, and that's when my self-love, like my intentional self-love journey began. And then the third time is now, like recently, like probably sometime last year, like before the new year hit. It just like when the new year hit, it just hit me, and I wasn't excited about a new year because I'm like, something's got to change. Like, this is not the life that I moved out west for. I'm not doing anything I moved out west to do. And so from there, I ended up, like, 4 months later, I got laid off from my job, and now we're here, and I'm just like, you know what? It is time. The sun is shifting, so let me shift with it a little bit. But I'm just like, you know what? It is time for a lifestyle rebrand, and that's where I'm at with it right now. Like, rebranding my entire lifestyle. And so if you are a woman who's just ready for a new chapter or something new, or if you're a creative who is looking to rebrand your style of content creating and entrepreneurship or solopreneurship, then this video is for you. So come, let's get into it. Okay, so today we're going to be chatting about why a lifestyle rebrand, like why you might consider a lifestyle rebrand, and also like the benefits of rebranding your entire lifestyle. And before I go any further, just know that I am rebranding my entire lifestyle. That you don't have to. Maybe you just want to rebrand parts of your lifestyle. Maybe you just want to rebrand your health, your physical health, the component of your physical health. Like, maybe you just want to start with one thing first, as opposed to everything all at once. Maybe you're not as dramatic as I am, but I'm a bit dramatic. So yeah. But first off, let's talk about what a rebrand is. So a rebrand is basically either realigning with your values and readjusting your lifestyle to align with your values, or just uprooting everything and starting a whole new life, if you will. Just uprooting everything and bouncing. I think my uprooting everything was when I left Cleveland to come to the West Coast. Like, that was a full shift for me. Like, now in this moment, I'm like, I'm somewhat established, and there are parts of my life that I've already rebranded, if you will. And I'm like, okay, now I'm just adding to the pot, but like in multiple ways, if that makes sense. And so that's what a rebrand is. It's like a deliberate, so it's a, I want to read this. I'm trying to like talk to the camera and pay attention to my cards, but I want to read this word by word. A rebrand is a deliberate shift in your habits, values, and your overall way of life. Like the self-love journey. So like the self-love journey is beyond just changing your appearance. It's about changing your habits, realigning with your values, changing your mindset. That's a big one for me in this season. Is like shifting from a lack mentality to an abundance mentality. And so it's deeper, because I know it's a lot of times when people talk about the self-love journey and self-care, oftentimes what gets talked about is external, and what people perceive as self-care is just external, but it's also internal. And along with the rebrand for me is beyond the external. Yes, there are some external things, my surroundings, my wardrobe, the decor in my home, things of that nature, but also internally, again, like shifting my mindset, realigning with my core values, and also realigning with my spiritual values. And so that's basically what a rebrand is. So before we dive any deeper into this topic, knowing what a rebrand is, like, think about what areas do you want to rebrand in? Like, what areas are you uncomfortable in at the moment? And you're like, okay, this is not who I want to be anymore. This is not who I intended to be. And so I want to, get back to who I was. And not necessarily getting back to the old you, but realigning with, because sometimes we just get off track and we need to be pop back on track. And sometimes we just need a whole new track, a whole new path to start. So identify where you are on your journey. Rebrand. So here are some of the reasons why you might consider rebranding your lifestyle. First being personal growth. Like, are you the woman or the person that you've always wanted to be? Are you who you've always wanted to be? And if you're not, maybe that's a reason to rebrand your lifestyle. For me, I took a trip down memory lane, looking at old emails from I was able to access my old college email before they canceled everything. Now they were sending emails about how we would no longer have access to it, and so I'm like, you know what? Let me just go down memory lane and see these old emails, what's in here that I might want to keep. And I'm so glad I did that, because it was kind of like a wake up moment for me, just looking back at who I was in college and like my hustle. Like, I was sending pitch emails and like trying to find internships because I had a dream. I had a career desire, a career goal, and I'm like, I'm getting there by any means necessary. I wasn't afraid to reach out to people and connect with people and shoot my shot. And somewhere along the way, I don't know if it was depression or just life, because life be life, and I lost sight of who I wanted to be, like what my career goals were. And so that took me back to, okay, I need to get back on track. Okay, get back on the path that I was on. And so the first reason why you might want to rebrand is personal growth. And speaking of career, like the second one is career advancement. Like, maybe you have been successful in your career and like, oh, you're like, okay, now it's time for something new. Like, one of the things I love about being multi-passionate and also this generation is like, we don't have to stay at a job or in a career for the rest of our lives if we don't want to. We don't have to. You can shift if you desire to. I'm in a group called Black Girls in Media, and there's a lot of women in there who are working in higher ed or in education, but want desire, and that was me, but desire career in media and entertainment, like, and that, I related to them because I'm like, I've been on this path of working in nonprofits and education, but I have this goal of working in this desire, this dream to have a career in media and entertainment. And so, and that might be the same for you, or maybe you are already in your dream career, but now you're interested in something else. And being interested in something else doesn't mean you just have to pick up everything and bounce to the next field. Maybe it's a side hustle, or maybe it's um, maybe you do like volunteer work or something. I don't know, but like career advancement is another reason to rebrand your lifestyle, just to see what else is out there. And then third is a lifestyle rebrand can help you improve your relationships or get rid of some relationships. That was me, what, 2 years ago, with just rebranding my friendships and uprooting some and becoming a better friends for the ones that are still in my life. And I think I'm still on that path. Like, one of the things that I have been not aspire yeah aspiring to do, and I have been implementing already, is just showing up for my people more, like, being a better daughter, a better, not even a better, but a more present, being a more present daughter, being a more present sister, being a more present auntie, being a more present friend, cousin, etc. But it might help you to redefine how you want to show up in your relationships and friendships, and also redefine what the expectations of those friendships and relationships are. And then fourth, the fourth reason to consider a personal rebrand is overall well-being. I'm talking physical, mental, spiritual, mental, emotional, and even financial health. Again, I am a huge advocate of holistic wellness. After being on this self-love journey for a while now, we aren't taught like holistic wellness, and we aren't taught certain things. And I'm just learning how all of the different pieces of your physical health, your mental health, your spiritual health, your emotional health, even your financial health, they're all pieces to the puzzle, and they all work together to create this whole you, like the whole of you. I think that's what wholeness is. We talk so much about wholeness, but I think that's what wholeness is like being healthy in all of these areas, and all of these areas combining together, and like cross collaborating with each other to produce a full and whole you. And so that might be another reason to do a lifestyle rebrand. Is maybe you're off center, like you're not centered, you're something just, again, you just on autopilot, and you're like, okay, something ain't right, and I need to get back to me. I need to get back to self. And so that might be the fourth reason why you should fourth reason for you to consider a lifestyle rebrand. Right, so now let's get into some tips for rebranding. Again, I've rebranded quite a few times. I've rebranded quite a few times in my life, and it's okay to rebrand because I think it demonstrates growth. One of my virtual mentors, David Shans, he recently announced that he was changing his Instagram or his social media handle. It used to be Sleepers for Suckers, and now is his name, David Shans. That's a prime example of a rebrand, but I think rebrands represent growth. It represents growth, and because we as humans, we should be, I think, constantly evolving. Like, yes, we reach moments where we're like, okay, I made it, and it's okay to enjoy that where you at that level. But I think ultimately, eventually, you evolve and want to get to a different level or achieve something else, and Unfortunately, some people just stay here. I mean, if that's what you choose to do, then that's what you choose to do. But for me, I've always been a person who just believed in the possibility of more. Like, and maybe I have been operating in abundance mindset, but in certain ways, because I value elevation and evolution. Like, I think that we're always evolving as humans, and I think that might be why some relationships don't work, because some people are comfortable where they are and others just want to grow and do more and reach higher heights. And it's really your choice. But for me, as for me and my house, we're going to elevate and evolve and operate in abundance. Okay. Okay. All right. So now for these tips for rebranding. And if you are interested in starting a lifestyle rebrand, the first thing you're going to need to do is do some self reflection. And that looks like really sitting and thinking about all that you've accomplished, where you are in this moment, reflecting on your, like, what got you to this moment, and then thinking about where you want to go. So reflecting, like, am I where am I right now? Am I content? Am I happy? Am I unhappy? Am I, think about process and think about the different emotions you might be feeling. Like I was saying, the first thing I would suggest you do is to do some self reflection, identifying your values, identifying your journey, or like reflecting on your journey, and identifying growth areas, like areas of, okay, where can I grow? Where have I grown, and what have I achieved, and what do I want to do now? But also identifying your barriers, like what is in the way of you reaching that next level, and identifying those barriers. And if you need a little bit more guidance on identifying these things and doing self reflections, I do have a digital workbook bundle. I'll link it in the description for you. It's a set of two different self love workbooks that'll help you work through your lifestyle rebrand and your self love journey. And I'm not going to talk too much about that because this is not a sales pitch for y'all, but I do want to highlight the resources that I do want to highlight the resources that I have right now. And that's the digital workbook bundle for your self love journey. And then once you identify and do some self reflection, identify your values and the barriers that might be in your way. The next step, and the next tip I would suggest you do, is to set goals for yourself. Okay, I've identified my values, the barriers, the growth opportunities. Now, what are the goals? Like, now that I'm aware, that self-awareness, now that I'm aware of where I am and what I want, what's the next step? What are my goals? Like, what do I want? What do I want this rebrand to look like? What do I want my lifestyle to look like in this rebrand? And who do I want to become? So identifying those things. And again, I have digital workbooks to help you work through this. And for me, to give you an example, for me, I want to. I'm already a full-time content creator since I got laid off, but I want to be a paid I want to be a paid full-time content creator. But also, I just want to operate in that vision that I have for myself. I tell people quite often, like, I've always imagined myself being a boss ass bitch, like a career woman, a boss ass bitch, bridging the gap between my passions for education and media and entertainment. And so I want to operate in that. And like, in one of my vision boards, it's more like a journal, I wrote down, I am a CEO with pink hair, pierced and tatted, and just a badass CEO with pink hair who is making an impact, who is living out her dreams and her career goals, and just doing a damn thing. So that is my vision for myself. Like, I that is my goal, to become who I keep seeing myself as, who I've always seen myself as a little girl. Like as a little girl, I always wanted to be a boss ass bitch, like in media and entertainment. Like that has always been my goal, and so one of the ways to get there is by being consistent with producing my content. So identify what your goals are. I say top three. I've been operating in the top three lately. So your top three goals for your this next season of your lifestyle rebrand. Okay. And then the third step, or the third tip for rebranding is identifying your branding elements. I kind of touched on it already. It's like, who do you want to become? What is your brand? If you are a content creator, like who's rebranding your content, like what does that look like for you? Like I had to pause the self-love content because I'm like, it's keeping me in a box, and I feel like I don't do well with boxes because I'm a multi-passionate creative, and I don't do well with boxes or like the niches, and I get the importance of those things, but I just want to create the content that I want to create, and I believe that the audience will come. And I could be wrong, but I don't think I'm wrong. Anywho, so identifying like what do you want your brand to look like? What are your, you do have a niche, like what is your niche? What are your content pillars? What are your brand pillars? Um yeah. Identify those things, and that leads to the fourth step, which is to create a strategic plan. Like what is your strategy for reaching these new goals and um implementing this new lifestyle rebrand? Like how are you going to, what are the steps you're going to take in order to rebrand your lifestyle? And so to give you an example, some of the things in my this rebrand includes updating my wardrobe, so cleaning out my closet, cleaning out my just a deep clean of my apartment, actually cleaning out my kitchen cabinets, cleaning out my laundry room, getting furniture to, I think I need like a little bit more structure in my apartment. But I also believe that structure helps you to have mental clarity. Like when your space is clean and structured and organized, it gives you a little bit more space to hear yourself, to think clearer, to hear yourself, and to get shit done. And so that is one of the things that I'm doing. That's part of my game plan for this lifestyle rebrand, is to just revamp and restyle my apartment, throw things out that remind me of the past or the old me, and identifying what my style is for this new season of my life, what I want my apartment to look like in this new season of my life, and I will be documenting that journey as well. So don't worry, you'll get a chance to see some of the things that I'm doing, and maybe you'll get some ideas for yourself as well. But just come up with a strategic game plan. Like again, create your top three goals. When you do the goal setting, what are your top three goals? What are the top three things that you want to achieve during this lifestyle rebrand? And then for each of those goals, coming up with action plan or action steps that you need to take in order to get there. So it's called backwards planning. So this is the goal, but how are we going to get there? And like planning backwards, like, okay, what's my first step I need to take? What's the second step? What's the third step? What's the fourth step? What are the steps that are going to get me to this goal? Okay. So your top three goals, and then action steps. I say about, I don't know how many action steps you might need. I'm giving myself like 8 to 10 action steps that I need to take. I don't know if that's overdoing it or underdoing it. I'll let you all know as I test it out. But that is, those are the 4 tips I have for you as you are beginning to implement this lifestyle rebrand for yourself. So, in conclusion, so that's really all that I have. In conclusion, Again, a lifestyle rebrand is about being intentional about your habits, um, your mindset, and the actions that you're taking, the daily actions that you're taking, is about recentering yourself and getting back to self. It's an act of self love. If you really think about it, rebranding your lifestyle is an act of self love. See, self love is still rooted in the content. It's still rooted in um, the lifestyle over here. Um, and then once you have an idea of like what it is that you want to rebrand about your life, maybe you're rebranding for overall well-being, or um, maybe you're rebranding for career development or career growth or personal growth or relationships. You want to do better in your relationships. That's the second thing we talked about is reasons why you might want to rebrand. And it could be all of those things collectively, which is a form of holistic wellness. Um, and then again, the tips for you to start implementing this rebrand is to first reflect, because you need to. I think it's important to know where you've been in order to know where you're going. You have to see and know, like, okay, this is what I've done. This is what I could do better at. These are the things that are stopping me. These are the barriers in my way, internal and external barriers that are in my way. And then once you identify those things, set goals for yourself. Like what do you want to achieve in this new season that you're in or that you're stepping into? And then put together a strategic game plan for yourself. And then once you have that, get active. I should have put that as a fifth step. Get active, okay? Get active, and you got to show up daily, and it ain't gonna be easy. That's one of the things that I'm learning. Is like, no, it's not gonna be easy, but you're equipped for this. You're made for this, and you're ready for this. So keep going. And consistency looks different every day. As long as you're showing up and getting something done, even if you, like, I got this top 3 notebook, and I try to aim for top 3 things to get done for the day. Sometimes I just get one thing done. Sometimes it's 2. Some days it's all 3. But either way it goes, that's still being consistent because you're showing up. So give yourself grace and be patient with your journey. Okay. And also to remember that rebranding is not about perfectionism. It's not about being perfect. It's about, again, showing up for yourself on a daily, taking those daily, making those daily changes. Small habits lead to the big wins. Small wins lead to the big wins. Okay. I know we say it all the time, but Rome wasn't built in a day. But it's because it's facts. Like, you just place brick by brick by brick by brick, and if you continue to place a brick daily, eventually you'll get to that complete vision that you have for yourself. So remember that it's not about being perfect, and it's not about perfectionism, and it's not even about getting it right the first time, because you're gonna bump your head. We all do. It's a part of life. It's a part of growth, and it's a part of the journey. So embrace it, right? Embrace it. Let me make sure I said everything I was supposed to say. No. um, but yeah, I am grateful for this journey. I'm grateful for this community that I am building online, and I'm grateful that you are interested in my content, because being a content creator is not easy. And so I'm grateful that you're here. I'm grateful that you've decided, or hopefully you decided, to be on this journey with me. So let's embrace the journey together and redefine what's possible for ourselves. That's what it's all about right now. And this rebranding is like redefining what's possible for yourself, for your life, for yourself, for your family, for your career, for your finances, for your health. Yeah, redefining what's possible. All right, y'all. So share with me in the comments below. I want to know, what is one thing that you're going to be working on during this rebrand. What is it that you are rebranding about your life? Is it for overall well-being? Is it for career development? Is it for your relationships? Is it yeah, what is it? Share with me in the comments below. And I'm excited for this journey, and I can't wait to talk to you all in the next one. All right, y'all. Peace. And be well. Go, girl.